The purpose of this tutorial is to show you how to build reports within Pearson and Form. Once you sign into Pearson and Form, click on the second tab at the top that says Reports to begin building. Once you click on this tab, you'll have an open space where you can create your first report. To begin, click on the green plus sign that says Create. A window will appear with 3 boxes. When building a report, always move from left to right, completing all of the parameters in these 3 boxes before creating your report. Let's start with the first box here on the left, your base query. Here in this drop-down, you have a number of different report types to choose from. The one that you will probably use most commonly is the Student Performance Summary report. However, you can choose any one of these to see different types of information. Next, you can select the test parameters, meaning you can choose the subject that the report is showing you and the year of data being displayed. Here in the subject drop-down list, you can select from math, reading, science, or other. And you can see data in a report from this school year or in school years past. Then you'll be able to select the student group parameters. Here, enrolled as of, you can select to see a chart that displays students currently enrolled in PowerSchool today, or if you just want to see a snapshot of how students performed on a particular test date, you can select test date and it will only show you the students that were enrolled at the time that the test was administered. You can select the checkbox to see the results displayed by school separately. And where it says student group, you can actually filter by any one of the student groups in which students have been assigned to, like assets, fast track, high-level readers, and so on and so forth. You can select this checkbox if you'd like to include students that have not been tested but are currently enrolled in PowerSchool. Moving down, the proficiency profile section is where you can decide how you want your results to be displayed. Your first option is to display results by above and below standard, meaning that a chart will be displayed with a red bar indicating students who are below and a green bar showing students who met. However, if you'd like the data to be broken down even further, you can choose to display results by proficiency levels, meaning you can see academic warning, below, meets, and exceeds. If you choose to display results by proficiency levels, you have to select a particular test from this drop-down here. And finally, in this left window, you'll have to choose, this is an option, you can choose disaggregators as well. And disaggregators are basically all of the subgroups that students fall into, such as their ethnicity, their gender, if they're English language learners, if they have IEPs, and many other disaggregators. You can choose to display the disaggregator, meaning it will show you all of the students that are in that particular subgroup compared with all of the students who are not in that particular subgroup. Or you could filter by a subgroup, meaning it will filter out everybody who does not fall into that particular subgroup, so you only see those students. Once you've selected all of the parameters on the left, you can move to the middle window, which is your assessments window. Click on Get Assessments, and you would see a list of drop-down available assessments to pick from. In this case, since I need to select a subject first, I'll try again. And now it will show me EdVision Math. I can use this drop-down here to see a list of all of the available assessments. I can either choose if I want to see how the students performed on one test, I can select one, or if I want to compare how they did on multiple assessments, I can choose more than one. Now moving on to the third box, Learning Standards, is where I can see those particular subskills on that assessment if I choose to. If I do want to see subskills, I can select Skills from this standard tier and press the Get Learning Standards button. And now you'll see all of the subskills that the students were tested on that particular assessment. I can check or uncheck as many boxes as I'd like. And then I can choose to create the report. Here, as you can see at the top, it's showing me math for third graders. And if I use this drop-down menu, I can select Math fourth graders instead and flip back and forth between them. I chose to display results by proficiency levels, so I not only have a below and meets, but I actually have a middle group target in the classroom as well. This is the EdVision assessment, and I actually wanted all of the subskills to be displayed, as you can see here at the bottom. And by hovering over any one of these bars, you can see the percentage of students that fell within that particular category and the number of students out of the total number that were assessed that fell within that category. I could click on one of these bars and drill down even further, but for confidentiality reasons I won't do that. By drilling down, you would see a list of students and their score on that particular assessment subskill. Now, if I made a mistake in building this report and I really wanted to see something different, all I need to do is go to the upper left corner and click on Query Controls, and that will bring me back to where I could start changing the parameters of my report. If I wanted to see the same information displayed as a table instead, I could click on this View Data as Table button, and it will be displayed as a table instead, with all of the percentages listed. And if I hit the View Drill Down Data button, I would see the list of students tested, all of the students tested and their scores. So I'm going to go back into Query Controls now and show you what it would look like if I wanted to only see students that were in a particular group, like assets or learning links or one of the other groups. So from here in these list of groups, let's say I wanted to see students who fell into the group targeting class. I still would like to see EdVision displayed by proficiency levels, and now I'm going to hit Get Assessments. Once again, I'd only like to see third grade, and I do want to see the skills. And now I'll press Create Report. Here, if I hover over one of these bars, you'll see that now only 40 students fall into this group. So it filtered out everybody except the students that were within the targeting class group that I wanted to see. And if I drill down, I could see a list of those students and their performance levels. Now let's go back into Query Controls, and now I'm actually going to remove the student group, and instead we're going to look at subgroups. First, I'd like to display by gender. And once again, I still want to see EdVision Math, fourth grade. Select Skills, Get Learning Standards, and Create Report. Now here, as you can see, it's displaying females and males, and there's also an unclassified category in case a student is not marked by gender in PowerSchool. By hovering over any one of these bars, I can see the number of students who are female and the number of students that are male and their percentages. Here right now it's only displaying the students who met. So these are the students who met separated by gender. I could also flip to see target in the classroom and below as well. So this is what displaying by a subgroup would look like. But if I go into Query Controls, instead of displaying by subgroup, I can actually filter by subgroup. So I'm going to filter by gender this time, and now I want to only see the performance of females. Still in fourth grade math, still seeing all of the learning standards. And now if I create the report, I get a look at the below, target, and meets, but I'm only seeing the performance of female students. All of the males have been filtered out. So this is how you would actually build a report within Inform. If you wanted to, you can change the context from within the reports building section here, so you can see the performance of the district, the school, even down to the classroom level. However, please note that when you drill down into a report, you'll only see the students that are assigned to you in PowerSchool. If you'd like to save a report that you had created, you'll go to this orange Save button, and you can give it a title, a description, and decide if you want it to be a dynamic report, meaning it changes as the students come and go within PowerSchool, or a static report, meaning it would be a snapshot of how the students performed on that time, in that time period. And you could add it to your personal library here and press Save. If you'd like to build a new report, you can click on the Clear button and it will clear your dashboard, allowing you a fresh space. To see reports that you had already created or other people had created and added to the shared library, you'll expand the side panel here, and you can see your folders where all of the reports are organized. This tutorial has been intended to show you how you can create reports within Pearson Inform.